We just made food, and there's a little bit left. Chicken sausages and random chicken rice. Dishes. The fun thing about van life is you've noticed that we're always out of water. And every time I film a video, we're either out of water, going to get water, or just coming back from having filled up our water. Like I said, we just went and got water today, so we have some, but we've been out of it for a couple of days, so we have a fuck ton of dishes to do. So then I'm going to use all the water to do all the dishes, and then we're probably going to run out of water again. I have this because it can switch. I think that I have it on the water saving one, so not as much comes out. And I try to like fill a dish, I fill them all with soap a little bit, and then fill one dish with water and scrub it, and then like transfer into the next dish, into the next dish, into the next dish. And then once I'm done, I rinse them all, and I try to like save water that way. But I'm going to show you where the rest of our dishes are. We made pasta the other night, which is, I love pasta. It's so good. It tastes so good and it's so filling, but I hate making it in the van because you have to use the big pot, because we buy a whole box of pasta and do a whole box and a whole jar of sauce, and it makes so much that we have so many leftovers, which is great because then you don't have to cook later and you can just warm it up. But the big pot is what I keep all of our spices in, and then everything like all right here smells like garlic and like red sauce. Like tomato has a very specific scent, like ketchup and pasta sauce, marinara sauce all smells a very specific way, and like I hate it. And I sleep with my pillow like right here and my head right here, so when our gray water, or if there's any dishes in here and they're stinky, I smell it all night long. So what I do, if we can't wash them really quick, is I put them in a plastic bag and I hide them. So like I was saying, our big pot usually holds all of these spices, but I had to use the strainer because I wiped the strainer off, so that was good enough. But in here, which is supposed to have this giant bag of laundry in it, but once our laundry gets so high, like that's up to my mid-thigh, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit in there super great, and we keep a lot of other stuff in here. It's where I hid the dishes. So let's just do a little tour, why don't we? If anyone sees my van, don't steal my shit, okay? My laptop bag, this is a butane heater that we never use. This is my toiletry bag that I take with me to the gym. That's where we keep the propane for the stove, the butane for the heater, and alcohol if we have any. Don't tell the police. This is where we keep our dog food and our vacuum without the attachments. Holy shit, that needs to be emptied. And so this is some toilet paper that goes back here, but for the sake of what we're doing, I'm going to put it over there. Okay, we have a bungee cord situation that holds the bench up, and I just moved the pillows over there. So this blue bin is where this laundry bag usually sits. Right now I have this thing with dishes in it and a bag of garbage that I forgot was in here because somebody eats the garbage like he did today and almost died because I had a can in there and he could have cut himself on the can. So then back here, this is my switch pod box. This is the binder that I take with me to interviews that just has like a notepad with a bunch of questions I wrote down once that I should ask every employer, like hourly, wages, shifts, paid time off, how all of that works. We have another binder with some information and stuff in it. My Blundstones, Braden's new Vans, the box to Braden's new Vans, my box of new Vans. This is the BCAAs, the pump, the creatine is back there, his split boarding poles. Underneath these Vans is a bucket, like a mini Rubbermaid with like a lid that has all of Picasso's stuff in it. So like his different sweaters, his boots, his medicines, for all of his problems, his nail clippers, whatever. And then even farther back, you can see, if it'll focus, so that blackness is the trunk. So my yoga mat is in there, there's another rug, and then that black part right there is the wheel well. So under this bed, like this whole, this is so stupid, this is why I don't do this on this channel. So underneath the bed, all the way to the back, is our garage, and that is where all of Braden's snowboarding stuff is, our other clothes for summer, and just a bunch of shit. And so the bench actually goes all the way through there so that his snowboarding bag could slide in. It doesn't quite fit. And we, of course, like, it's just a way that we could get back there if we had to. I don't know why. But that's why was I doing this? Okay, that was ridiculous. My phone fell down and I didn't even notice, but that was a fucking mess. We have a bar sink. Obviously, it's very small because we're working with a small amount of space. I know it can be like deceiving because a lot of people are building out much bigger vans than ours, like 170s, extendeds, whatever. Ours is a 148 wheelbase, so we don't have that much room. We didn't want to take up all of our counter space with the sink. Do not be fooled, because the sink works great. The only time that it's an issue is when we are trying to clean this, and then, you know, like it splashes. I have water running everywhere, and we never sealed these edges, so sometimes water drips down into the water cabinet or the water closet. But I'm taking a break. I only have this pot that we just cooked in left, but it's really sticky from the rice, and my dish pad, like drying whatever, is soaking wet. So I'm gonna put it up in the window, and I'm just gonna put all of the spices, I'm gonna put all of the spices back into the pot and take Picasso for a walk down to the park while the sun is still up, because it's gonna go down soon. It's warm out and I want to get him outside while he can. Then when we come back, I'm probably gonna try to clean the stove, but probably not, because all I have is Windex and I don't want to get yelled at. And then I'll give you a tour of the rest of the kitchen, I guess, because I don't really have anything else to do in this video, so why not? I'm back from the walk. So as you know, my dog Picasso has very long hair, and we try to get him trimmed or get his hair just shaved as short as possible, because it grows very long very fast, and he doesn't shed. He's hypoallergenic. He has hair, not fur or something like that. So his hair is getting really, really long. It's really thick. We've noticed that he's panting constantly, always panting, always too hot. His body's always really hot because his hair is really long, and it gets longer in his head and neck area than it does on the rest of his body. And so every time we get him groomed, we get him back and he looks terrible, because they couldn't do his feet, or they couldn't do his head, or they couldn't do his ears, or they couldn't do his neck, because he's ornery. He's old and he gets cranky. And so I have to go in and try to do it myself. And he will not deal with a buzzer. He doesn't like the sound. So I have to go in with Braden's beard scissors, these tiny little scissors. And I just like comb through his hair and try to cut it as evenly as I can. And it is now getting warm, so we decided that I was going to do that today, and he only let me start. You can't see how terrible it is, but I really only did like through here, like the top of his head and on the sides of his neck, and this is all of that hair. So now I need to try to clean that up, and the floor is a mess, and when I was putting those spices away, there was a bunch of salt that spilled. And I'm almost positive that the vacuum is not going to be charged. So this is as good as it's going to get. So we're just going to go ahead and go with the kitchen tour. I'm doing this on my phone by myself, so I'm sorry ahead of time. If I have dog hair all over me, it is what it is. I was going to try to finish at least his whole head, like the underside and the ears. But he's on high alert now and he's pissed off, so he won't let me. So I went ahead and vacuumed everything up. The vacuum wasn't dead. We're good to go. I'm about to flip this camera around, but first I'm gonna take a big ass drink of this Arizona peach tea that is literally nothing but sugar, because why would I want to wear a bathing suit this summer? I'm gonna flip this camera around and I'm gonna show you our kitchen. Just keep in mind that we built it ourselves with the help of some friends on the side of the road with not all the appropriate tools in a Minnesota winter. Here we go. So this, I can't really get a good view of it, is our kitchen. As you can see, the cab is up there, the front seat and the passenger seat. We have a curtain rod and the curtains that separate the living and the driving area. We have a rug that I got that's just rubber for the snow and the water for the winter, that covers up our wood floors to try to stop them from getting damaged. But as you can see, there's chunks missing from the wood floors and scratches all over them, and the vacuum scratches them, so I just don't care anymore. We have this giant nitro snowboard rug that we love, but it's falling apart, so we're gonna need a new one. These are the two drawers that our friend Dean helped us with. This drawer has our fridge in it. This drawer has utensils in it. This is our water cabinet. As you can see, this is our electrical cabinet. So really quickly, the latch broke on this and the whole sliders broke because the fridge is just too heavy. Like, there's beads and stuff falling out of here. I don't know if you can tell, it's not where it's supposed to be. The whole thing is broken, but our switch for our inverter is in here for some reason. It gets stuck down there all the time. We need to mount it on the wall. Oh. But we just haven't. This is our fridge. It's a Dometic CF something. I don't remember what the size is. Braden's parents got it for us for Christmas last year and we are so grateful. We love it. I love having a top loading fridge. It just keeps the cooled air in there. It can turn into a freezer, but it isn't one of the ones that do half fridge, half freezer. It either is a fridge or is a freezer. We always use it as a fridge. This summer we're talking about possibly getting a cooler to keep things in, to turn this into a freezer so that we can have frozen fruit and stuff for smoothies. We'll see about that. Oh God, I can't shut this very well because of the drawer being broken. As you can hear all of those noises, it's not great. We need to fix that. I think I showed this in another video, but these are our locks and this is the shit show drawer. So we'll move these. It's just a cutting board and whatever. So this is our miscellaneous drawer. It has our big cooking pot, some pans. Our other pot that still needs to be washed goes in here. The tea kettle. Our vacuum attachments are in here because I don't have anywhere else to put them. Some leftover ramen, spices, coffee thingy, blender thingies, mini camp stove thingy, whatever. There's no real way. This is the best way that I found to organize it so far. We have a lot of large round items, so it just is what it is. I should probably put those back. I don't know what kind of wood we made everything out of. Our paint color that we use on all the cabinets, on the face of the bed, and I'm sitting on the bench that I showed you earlier, but that is also painted with a paint color that we got at Menards. I don't remember what brand, but I know that the name of it is New Potato, which I love. So inside the water cabinet is our pee jug. This is our fresh water, our water pump, and our gray water tank. And then usually cleaning supplies in the garbage can, and Picasso's food bowl is in here. And that's about that. This is how you turn the sink on. You do this. This light used to come on. For some reason, the light doesn't work anymore. So we have a loose connection somewhere. And that's how our little sink works. We do have soap in here. We just don't use it very often. It's just a sink. This is our electrical cabinet. We have our inverter, and then our charge controller that tells us where we're at, if we're charging whatever, and all kinds of stuff. I don't know that much about what's going on in here. I did help run wires before we even had a solar, but Braden's dad is an electrical engineer and he pretty much did everything. And then I have these two damp rid thingies because I use them in the summer because they work so well to pull moisture out of the air. And we have some random tools and a dustpan and our 2 batteries. And there isn't a lot of ventilation in here, but the batteries don't get hot. We've checked them. It is what it is. That's what's going on there. I have one of these ratcheting paper towel things that everyone has. I saw that Trent and Allie had it, so I got it and I love it. This is these spice jars. Everyone uses the name brand Nice Spice, and they're usually on like the front of a refrigerator, or they have a big plaque and they stick really well and everyone uses them for spices. I just got these magnetic jars and the magnetic strips separately on Amazon, and we put Picasso's Picasso's treats in there. They're just empty. This is a bunch of pictures of our family, my best friend's wedding invitation, and a bunch of other stuff, and a whiteboard. We have an outlet here. We do have both 110 and, oh my god, why don't I remember anything? 12 volt and whatever. This is the spray foam that we use to insulate our entire van. We could not find a way to close this up. We probably could now, but when we were putting our walls on, there was nowhere to attach another wall to. And we ended up using the original, I can't find it. The original bulkhead piece is back there somewhere. Anyways, these are our upper cabinets that Jack and Braden built. They did such a lovely job. This is a Minnesota sticker. This cabinet is the pain in my ass. As you can see, we didn't finish everything in here. So there's some stock wiring, some spray foam, the ceiling and the walls. But this is where we keep our plates that don't stack well, and our bowls, one of our shaker bottles, these cups that we got from Oktoberfest, and all of our mugs, emergency silverware, you know, the whole thing. And this is where we keep food. Right now it's very empty and very unhealthy because we are poor. And that's it, really. The countertop is fake butcher block from IKEA that they got out of the damaged bin for super cheap, because obviously a regular countertop is much longer, and the part that was damaged we were able to cut off, and it worked out super well. And then that's the bench that I was sitting on, and that's the whole thing. I guess since I already showed you the inside of the bench, I'll show you the outside of the bench. This is it. This is where it opens that you saw. This part does not open because we needed it to have a secret cubby in here. That's just where I keep my pee funnel. And then this is the side of our cabinet, and we just found one of these 3 pocket organizers that we were able to attach right onto it. And then all of our switches are right here. So this tells us our voltage. These are the light switches. And where we plug our phones in and stuff. And that's it. Thank you for joining me today on this very random video where I don't even know what it was about, and it turned into a van tour. I try not to do this on this channel. Like, obviously I live in a van and this is a channel about me, so I talk about being in the van a lot. But if you are curious about our build at all, or anything else about our van, we have another channel called Settled in Transit. I will try to pop that up on the screen or something. I don't know if I want to put in that much effort. That's also our Instagram. So if you go to my links up in my channel art or on my like about me section of the YouTube channel, our Instagram and our other YouTube channel should be linked. On our YouTube channel, I downloaded all of our videos and all of our pictures that had to do with our build from Instagram and put them into videos. It's kind of long. It's really bad. They're all like black bar, like wrong orientation videos because they're from Instagram. But if you wanted to see like a quick summation of everything that we did, it kind of timelines our build. And then we have 2 videos on there, I think. One from our drive from the Midwest, like back home in Michigan, all the way out to South Dakota, out to Utah. And then we kind of talk about getting our registration and our South Dakota licenses and our domicile. And then we have another one from our trip down to San Rafael Swell, but only if you're interested. We just have that as like a travel diary for ourselves, and that's what's going on there.
thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you later. Okay, thanks. Subscribe. Bye.